some combination of trying to hit home runs, getting the ball in the air, or it being too cold, or
just sucking.
Well, do you think they suck?
I think that they have a contact problem on this team.
So that goes to the first thing. Trying to hit home runs, the overall approach from the organization, that's where I defer to.
Yeah, and I think there's some roster issues in there, too, but keep going.
Okay.
Oh, it's almost like that grifting driveline stuff is a big crock. Huh.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Have they tweeted recently?
No,
actually?
not at me. No, it's funny. No chirping last night after the 14 strikeouts, and their prodigy, Christian Campbell, was whiffing at the plate. Nope, didn't see him.
So their phones must not be working.
Yeah.
Could be that, yeah.
Because they were tweeting after they scored some runs against the
Cardinals.
The lowly Cardinals,
yeah, right.
yes. Yeah.
I think some of the cell towers are
might be down.
malfunctioning. Yeah, I think they're malfunctioning.
They might be down. So what happened to the Geeks over there? Well, anyway, they lose again. They lead Major League Baseball in strikeouts after being second in the American League in strikeouts last year, and lose yet another game in which I think you can directly tie the loss to their approach of not shortening swings, trying to draw contact because, again, driveline and other analytically based baseball analysts, well, the guys that run the sport, don't believe in contact or line drives, as Jim Rice told us. And once again, they lose. And, well, that's where we're beginning today. Mazz, your thoughts?
So, look, I think the strikeout thing is a real problem. And I know the geeks hate it, but I'm going to dig in my heels on this one. Like, what? All of a sudden, not putting the ball in play is okay? That's okay. Sack flies, moving runners over. That not doing those things is okay.
It's giving away outs, Mazz.
It is giving away outs. Oh, I mean, so, but I'm think you're giving away outs.
I'm being sarcastic. This is what the analysts would say. You don't give away outs.
Okay, I think instead you're giving away at bats. So I would say it's worse. I misunderstood what you meant.
What I was driving at. Go ahead.
In any case, and I think it manifests itself most in these critical spots. So those were the key at-bats of the game there. Devers gets on. You got a guy on.
So that was the 10th inning, Mazz.
Oh.
That was the ghost runner. That was you had kept Toronto off the board, top of the 10th. Tristan Cassius actually does his job.
Move the runner over.
And move the runner over to third with just a ground ball to second base. Wouldn't you know, it probably got scolded after the game by the guys upstairs. But anyway, Cassius does his job, moves the runner over. Runner on third, nobody out. Trevor Story, strikeout on, I believe, 5 pitches in which he swung at all 5 pitches. And then Christian Campbell with the strikeout to end the inning. That's what you just heard.
Yeah, so, and look, I just got my wires crossed. But that was the key moment in the game. All you got to do is put the ball in play, you win the game. It's really that simple. Just put it in play, and you win. And they couldn't do it. And that to me, and again, so I said to you, it manifests itself in those situations. With men in scoring position, they have struck out 43 times. 43 times. They went 0 for 11 last night. Story, I think, has had 8 strikeouts and 13 at-bats with men in scoring position. So this is it. You're not making contact. And by the way, the formula, everybody in the game knows it now. Just throw the Red Sox high fastballs. They can't catch up, and they will chase.
Because they're trying to launch it, and they can't catch up to a high fastball with the launch angles.
They're easy outs in those spots. They are easy outs.
I mean, their approach is just rigid, is what it is. I mean, those late at-bats were awful, and it's almost as if, does Cora deserve some sort of blame here, too, in terms of, like, I don't know, not having them ready to go at times during this series? It feels like that, because they're dealing with the cold or they're upset there, and it doesn't seem like he knows how to manufacture a run in a game like last night's. It's just, I don't know, like, we still don't know what they are. Maybe that's part of the problem. Like, what the hell is this team's identity? You can beat up on crap like St. Louis. That's it.
That's pretty much what they are, Murray. Yeah, that's it. And again, I don't want to go too far because we're happy that they've...
And it's a small sample size.
No. But we're happy that they've added to the team. But the kind of team they built is not championship caliber. It's not quite there yet. And I say that because this is what when they face good pitching and good competition, I think they're going to get exposed, at least in the early part of the year. Toronto starters, Barrios and Gosman are good. They're both good. The kid in between, I don't know a lot about. I liked what I saw, but he's a 28-year-old journeyman. Okay, so the bottom line is all of a sudden they're going against a team that has a little more talent. Texas, similar kind of thing. And those two series combined, they're 1-5. Now, Baltimore's pretty good, too. They took 2 out of 3 from the Orioles. But I would also tell you Baltimore's banged up. So the strikeout thing, I'm sorry, is inexcusable.
What did Driveline tweet anything about? I'm just going to ask again because what happened to those guys? They were tweeting you after they scored some runs, Murray. What did they?
Yeah, no, I haven't seen anything today.
Where are you guys at?
Yeah, right.
Where you at, nerd?
No, after Sunday night. Ugh. Our methods.
The Red Sox and baseball in general have taken it too far. They've given over too much power to these grifter nerds, and the teams that take it too far, it's going to cost them. It's going to cost the Red Sox in their approach. I say the same thing about the Celtics. If they shoot three-pointers at the level they did in the regular season, it's going to trip them up. The analysts have taken it too far. You turn yourself over to the analysts, it will bite you in the end. And I think it does with the Red Sox. And I'm sorry. I just can't get past that. Where's Jim Rice when I needed him? He wasn't on the postgame last night. So I'll just fine. It still applies. Jim Rice on March 31st. It still applies. Hit it, Jimmy.
Well, how can you cut down on your strikeouts when you're trying to get the ball in the air? When you're trying to get the ball in the air, your swing is big. When you try to hit line drives, your swing is shorter. That's all I got to say.
That's it, Jim. Where was he? Where's Jim Rice been, by the way? What stiff did I get on last night who didn't tell me a damn thing?
I think it was Devin Marrero.
Not a damn thing. Didn't learn a damn thing from him. So where's Jim Rice when you need him? Calling out the team for their approach. That's exactly what happened last night.
14 strikeouts.
I mean, come on.
14 strikeouts, and they've struck out in double digits most of the games this season.
You say Gausman's good. I mean, I guess strikeouts per game. Well, I'll just start with this. You know how many guys he struck out in his last game?
Zero.
So in his 3 starts, strikeouts, 4, 0, 10. Huh. Interesting. So I don't know. That ain't, exactly Ron Guidry out there, Mazz.
No. But historically, he's been good. He's been a good pitcher. And so that's all I'm telling you. And he owns them. He absolutely has owned them now for years since he's been in Toronto. But that aside, he owned them last night with fastballs. Usually they're flailing away at a split-fingered fastball, which is really, really good.
I think they said all 10 strikeouts were on fastballs.
Yes, that's all he did. He just kept throwing fastballs. And he doesn't throw 99. He throws 95, 96. So I'm saying you should be able to get something on that. I'm not telling you it's slow. But I'm telling you, there is a line there where all of a sudden a guy hits 95 and the Red Sox can't hit anymore.
So,
or many of them can't hit.
So there's approach, and then you think there's problems on the roster, Mazz?
I do. I think they get a lot of strikeout guys. I think that Trevor Story's a massive strikeout guy. Casas strikes out. Devers strikes out, but you accept it because he still hits for a reasonably high average. You go up and down that lineup. Abreu strikes out a lot, or has. We'll see with Campbell, but he had 3 of them last night. I didn't think he struck out quite that much. Wong is striking out like crazy. They got strikeouts up and down that lineup. There just aren't enough guys putting the ball in play. That's got to change. Otherwise, you'll never have a rally.
I mean, even I get on Nesson. Nesson tried in the 8th inning that you were referencing, Mazz. They got a leadoff single. Was it Campbell? And then it's the bottom of the order. And so O'Brien tries. And I was laughing in real time. Like, well, Dave, you know the deal here. But Dave O'Brien was saying perfect time for a bunt. Perfect time for a bunt. Who was up after
David Hamilton?
Hamilton, okay, who's good with the bat, good
Speed.
Good bunter, apparently. Okay, so like you weren't doing anything off Gausman. It was a really tight, low-scoring defensive game. You get the leadoff runner on at the bottom of the order. Here's a guy who can handle the bat with some speed. Perfect time to sacrifice. And he and Middlebrook started talking about it. I'm like, guys, you don't get it. The Alex Cora doesn't run the game. The managers don't run the game. It's the guys upstairs. And the approach is already predetermined. They're not going to bunt. They're not going to give away an out. They just don't believe in giving away outs. And they don't believe in sacrificing. And the analytics don't add up when it comes to sacrifice bunts. And you're not going to get it. But Dave O'Brien tried. And he said, well, I'm sure, Cora's pretty good about this stuff. I'm sure the writers will ask him about it after the game. Did the writers ask him about it after the game?
Nope.
The writers don't ask questions about game strategy anymore. They talk about Tanner Houck and how he looked.
Correct.
That's what you're going to get. You're not going to get why'd you do this or why'd you do that. But, if they had asked him, and if he was being honest, he'd say it's not, and not that he would ever say this, but the answer is not my call. I don't call the game anymore. we were told not to sacrifice bunt, and so they're not bunting.
I mean, most managers now, I would say it's largely accepted that the job of the manager is, morale and communication, keeping the clubhouse pointed in the right direction. You go out and play the game. I'll try to keep your attitude and your confidence in check. That's it. And the pitching decisions, obviously, that too. But and even that, they give them the sheet.
Other than that, it's sit there and capitulate to the nerds.
Pretty much.
That's it.
Yeah, and I would say that's game wide. Like, and some of these...
These teams, and I'm sorry, Mazz, to cut you off. It's not just the Red Sox. You rarely see it. Most teams don't bunt that runner from second in the extra innings.
No, they don't. They play for 2 runs.
They all swing away. And Casas, I thought, did a good job putting the ball on the ground to the right side of the infield. Again, I'm sure there's an analyst there at Fenway who said that's actually not what you should be doing there. So they did do it there, but it's rare that you see a team lay down a bunt with the runner on second in extra innings, just needing a run to win the game.
And he took a very defensive swing, too. It was really deliberate. He was rolling over to move the guy over. So I give Casas big credit for that.
Good job.
Yes, it was. And he got...
It was refreshing.
It was surprisingly refreshing. But again, so then Story comes up, and what do you think's going to happen? He is the phoniest stat guy in baseball.
Go.
I'm telling you, his stats are so freaking hollow. He is so easy to pitch to. Fastballs up, sliders away, and if you've got velocity, what happened to him in that last at-bat is exactly what will happen. He's cheating because he knows the fastball's coming, and then when it breaks to the outside part of the plate, he can't reach it and he can't hold up.
2 of those swinging strikes were like 2 feet outside the zone.
Yep.
Not even close, man.
I mean, he was just fighting to make contact and dribble it foul.
Okay, there's that. So it's a combination of their approach, their analytic-driven approach. I'm convinced of it. Jim Rice agrees. Maybe they've taken him off the air because they don't want you to hear it. And secondly, it was a little too cold for these guys. From the manager on down.
If you like that clip, check out more videos from Felger and Mazz here. For more Red Sox analysis and opinion, hit this playlist. And for all the latest from the Sports Hub, download the app at 985thesportshub.com.